former Anambra State Governor and presidential candidate of Labour Party in the last concluded general elections in Nigeria, Peter Obi has said that he was in Yola, the capital of Adamawa State, to deliver a keynote address at the American University of Nigeria, AUN, owned by former Vice President of Nigeria and also the presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the last elections, Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar had posted a video of him having breakfast at his residence with Peter Obi and his entourage on Saturday morning, causing widespread speculations that both were apparently having a strategical meeting of possible merging together to contest 2027 presidential election in the West Africa country. Peter Obi, in a statement few hours ago, said he was in the state on the invite to deliver the Founders' Day keynote at the on-ceremony. Peter Obi stylishly used part of the first paragraph of the press release to obviously debunk misleading speculations in the public space and went further to sympathize with victims and bereaved families of Niger River boat mishap which led to the killing of dozens of the boat passengers. The statement reads in quote thus: "Today, while traveling to Yola in Adamawa State to deliver the keynote address at the 16th Founders' Day lecture, commemorating the 20th anniversary of the American University of Nigeria, AUN, I received the very sad news of a tragic boat mishap. The incident occurred yesterday along the Dambo-Ebuchi section of the River Niger, resulting in the loss of many lives. Reports indicate that the boat was carrying approximately 200 individuals, mainly market women and local farmers, transporting their produce to the market. My heart goes out to the families affected by this tragedy. These are already challenging times, and the loss of loved ones only deepens the pain. My sincere prayers are with you all. I also extend my deepest condolences to the government and people of Niger State. May God grant you, and all of us, the strength to endure this profound loss, and may He grant eternal rest to the departed souls." Peter Obi also took to the social media during the week to condemn the wave of insecurity in the country. "It is very saddening and heartbreaking that the wave of insecurity has continued to sweep through every part of the country with no end in sight. The situation is even added to the harrowing hardship the people are going through, yet they cannot even sleep with their two eyes closed. More heartbreaking is the fact that our critical infrastructure is often targeted by these merchants of terror who have no regard for human lives. Just a few days ago, I read a harrowing report about the killing of about 30 persons by terrorists in separate attacks on communities in two local government areas of Benue State. Yesterday, I was shocked by the reports of the unfortunate terror attack on the motorcycle showroom of Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing in Nnewi, Anambra State, where about 3 members of the staff were also kidnapped. One very pertinent question that has continued to bother every well-meaning Nigerian is, where are we headed as a nation with this level of insecurity? It is even more worrisome and discouraging that, in the face of the severe economic hardship facing our nation, our productive business facilities are attacked. This is a time when foreign investors are leaving the country in their numbers. Our few resilient local investors still have to face a frightening level of insecurity and other challenges for them to remain in business. We must not continue to allow this mindless waste of human lives and attack on our businesses and critical infrastructure across the country. We must end this monster of insecurity before we are all consumed. I sincerely commiserate with all the victims of the terror attack in Benue and every part of our nation. I also sympathize with Chief Innocent Chukwuma over the attack on his business facility. I urge the security agents to do their best in rescuing the kidnapped workers. Again, we must end insecurity in our nation before it ends us, Peter Obi stated. Some Nigerians, after seeing the video of Peter Obi breakfast meeting with Atiku Abubakar, took to the comment sections of the politicians to say that if Atiku and other heavyweight political actors in the northern Nigeria support Peter Obi for 2027 presidency, the win is solved. Another group of Nigerians said both of them should form alliance and float a new political party to be able to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in a news release on Friday reported that Federal High Court sitting in Abuja stopped the arraignment of former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Adoza Bello after the former governor told the court he was not yet prepared for the case. According to Yahaya Bello, he was yet to mobilize his legal team for the 80.2 billion naira's money laundering allegations, hence he told the court he should be given more time to prepare for the case. Details of the EFCC news release reads below verbatim. A Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has slated the arraignment of the former Kogi State Governor, Yahaya Adoza Bello, for December 13, 2024. Justice Emeka Nwite on Friday, November 29, 2024 directed the court's registrar to issue a hearing notice to Bello's legal team regarding his arraignment. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) is prosecuting Bello on 19-count charge of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion nairas. Addressing the court about the former governor's presence in court, prosecution counsel Kemi Pinheiro San urged the court to proceed with the arraignment, stating that the defendant's presence satisfied the legal requirement for the process. In view of his physical presence in court and relying on sections 271 to 277 and section 392 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act (ACJA), I respectfully apply that the charge be read to the defendant, his plea be taken, and my lordship adjourned for further proceedings, he said. He referenced two Court of Appeal rulings, dated August 20, 2024, which upheld a defendant's presence in court as satisfactory enough for his arraignment, and further buttressed his position with the fact that Bello had failed to appear in court on several occasions, prompting an application for his trial in absentia. Bello, in his response, informed the court that he had not mobilized his legal team on the arraignment and pleaded for time to do so. Justice Nwite, in a short ruling, adjourned to December 13, 2024 to enable the prosecution to serve the defendant's counsel with the necessary processes. In addition, the court directed the registrar to issue a hearing notice to Bello's legal team and ordered that the former governor be remanded in the custody of the EFCC. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on Wednesday reported new charges included in the corruption case against former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, totaling 16, but on Thursday, EFCC has added more 3 fresh charges to scale up the charges to 19 counts since the fleeing former governor submitted himself for prosecution on Tuesday. Court reporters have filed in reports on Thursday morning that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) will today arraign former Kogi State Governor Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello on fresh charges of alleged money laundering. Scheduled to appear before Justice Emeka Nwite at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Bello faces a 19-count corrupt practices indictment while he was the governor of Kogi State. The arraignment, originally slated for January 27 next year, was brought forward after Bello presented himself at the EFCC. On November 27, 2024, Bello was arraigned before High Court in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, on 16-count charges of alleged breach of trust, which he denied. Bello on Tuesday told the court that it was necessary to prepare for his defense and sought for bail. Justice Marian Aneni, who presided over the case, reserved ruling on the bail application until December 10 and remanded Bello and 2 co-defendants in EFCC custody pending the decision. Before now, EFCC had declared wanted the former governor over allegations that the former governor was sending money out of Kogi State government coffers to foreign exchange marketers to convert the state funds to dollar for the payment of his children's school fees. Details of some of the new charges against Yahaya Bello as stated in the EFCC news release on Wednesday with caption, EFCC arraigns Yahaya Bello for alleged 110.4 billion naira fraud, reads in full below. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Wednesday, November 27, 2024, arraigned a former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Adoza Bello, before Justice Marian Aneni of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT High Court, Maitama, Abuja. He was arraigned alongside Umashwa Ibu Oricha and Abdulsalami Hudu on a 16-count charge bordering on criminal breach of trust and money laundering to the tune of 110.4 billion naira. Count 11 of the charge reads that Yahaya Adoza Bello, Umashwa Ibu Oricha and Abdulsalami Hudu sometime 2022 in Abuja, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, whilst having dominion over the state treasury, dishonestly used the total sum of 5,698,888 dirhams for the acquisition of a property located at Hotel Apartment Community, Burj Khalifa, Line, BM situate at plot 160, Municipality number 3457562, Skyview Building No 401, Floor 4, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, UAE. Count 16 reads that Yahaya Adoza Bello sometime between 2017 and 2018 in Abuja, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, had under your control the total sum of 677 nairas, 848,677,848,000 naira unlawfully obtained from Bespoke Business Solution Limited. They all pleaded not guilty to the charges when they were read to them. Following their pleas, EFCC counsel, Kemi Pinheiro-san, informed the court of the prosecution's readiness to commence trial. However, counsel for the first and second defendants, Joseph Daudu-san, moved an application for bail for his clients. Pinheiro opposed the application, arguing that it predated the arraignment of the defendants and was therefore premature, hasty and procedurally flawed. Daudu had clarified that the bail application before the court was dated November 22, 2024, and urged the court to admit Bello to bail. My lord, the application is supported by a written address and exhibits, including Exhibit A, which demonstrates that the first defendant responded to the court's public summons. His appearance today signifies his commitment to stand trial. He cited sections 378, 2, and 371 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act (ACJA) in support of the bail application. In response, Pinheiro reminded the court that the bail applications only become relevant after arraignment when the court assumes full jurisdiction over the defendant. The application before your lordship was filed on November 22nd, before the defendant submitted himself to the court's jurisdiction this morning. This renders the application hasty and incompetent. The EFCC's counsel also highlighted Bello's alleged history of disregarding court summons and judicial processes. The records before this court demonstrate bad conduct. The first defendant has treated previous court orders with disdain, including failing to appear before the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal. This conduct punctures his claim of good behavior and commitment to justice. Pinheiro further emphasized the gravity of the allegations, stressing that this case involves over 130 billion naira in public funds, alleged to have been used to acquire properties across Abuja and other locations. Given the defendant's political influence, granting bail poses a significant risk to the integrity of the trial. Counsel to the third defendant also moved for bail, arguing that the application was competent and should be granted. However, Pinheiro opposed, pointing out that the third defendant, who served as a cashier during the alleged fraud and is now a permanent secretary, remains in a position to influence witnesses or repeat the offense. My lord, witnesses in this case are civil servants and subordinates of the third defendant. His continued liberty poses a significant risk to the trial process, he said. Similarly, Pinheiro opposed bail for the second defendant, is still in government service, stating, My lord, The second defendant is still the Director General at the Government House, the same office implicated in this case. His position creates a likelihood of further interference in the investigation and trial. Just
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.